welcome to my channel. My name is Atasia and today we're going to talk about the 10 things you need to know before you move into your first apartment. I've lived in dorms before and I've lived with a boy before, but I've never lived on my own. So this is going to be 10 things you need to know before you move into your new apartment alone. Alright, so let's get started. I'm going to look at my phone because all of my little tips are there and I don't want to forget anything. So let's get started. Tip number 1, your credit score and your income matters. Your credit score, people need to know, renters need to know that you're reliable and that you're actually going to pay the rent. So your credit score is basically a history of how reliable you are. That's how renters look at it. Your income will need to be 2.5 to 3 times the rent of whatever place you want to get. If it's not, it's beneficial to actually get a real estate agent so that way they can vouch for you even if you do not meet that requirement. But you need to think about those 2 things, because if you don't, you're going to be paying an application fee to get denied, and it's non-refundable. Okay, so you're basically going to be throwing away $50, $100, whatever the application fee is, and we don't want to do that. So tip 1, make sure your credit score and your income is on point. Tip number 2, budgeting. So a lot of times when people think about apartments, they don't think about the stuff that you have to pay just to even get the apartment, okay? And then once you get the apartment, you don't think about the actual amenities. Yeah, people say, okay, you have to pay your rent and electricity, but you're not. But let's start from the beginning. You need to pay application fee, amenity fees. We're talking about water. You have to pay renter's insurance. All that stuff is stuff that you need to research to make sure there are no hidden fees that you're being charged or that you're gonna have to pay that you weren't aware of. Because I'm telling you, these things surprised me. Water, what the hell? I didn't know I had to pay for that. A lot of times people think it's rolled in your rent, and I don't know if it's a South Florida thing or whatever the case may be, but water isn't rolled in your rent. Like, you pay it all on one for my specific apartment, but it's still a designated fee for water. So, and then renter's insurance and all that good stuff. You need to keep all that in mind. And let's not forget about Wi-Fi. Let's not forget all those other little things that make your life comfortable. Those are all fees and those are all money that you'll be spending. So those are all things you need to budget in whatever apartment you choose to get. Number 3, don't auto pay. So, you know, this is a very personal thing. Everyone is different, but I suggest not to auto pay for the first 3 months because you kind of want to see what you're being charged. Sometimes you could be charged for things maybe you're not supposed to be charged for. You might be charged higher, or it's just kind of being aware of what you're being charged for the first 3 months. You can afterpay after that, auto pay after that if you want to, but I suggest to manually pay your bills the first 3 months just so you are aware of what's coming out of your account. And this kind of rolls into tip number 4. Make sure you have sufficient funds from the account that you're pulling your payments from. If not, you will be charged an insufficient fee. This happens a lot when it comes to rent and stuff like that. If you are in auto pay, even if you're not in auto pay, if you're pulling money from your account and it doesn't have money, you will be charged a fee anywhere from $50 to $150. It could be less, it could be more. And it's not one of those things, because I live in a apartment building. There's like 100,000 apartment units in here. So HOA runs this place. It's not like I can go to a landlord of a 3-4 building and be like, oh, I made a mistake, can you give me that money back? That's just not how that's gonna work. Most of the time, the HOA association is kind of like hidden. There's no direct access to them. Or if there is, it's extremely hard to get it. So it's like, why you're gonna have to go through the hassle to get that money back when it's your fault. So just make sure you have the funds in your account before you pull any payments from there, because you will be charged a fee, and we don't need that. It literally can be avoided, so avoid it, okay? Number 5, create a first day box. Number 5 is create a first day box. I know some people like to separate things by the rooms, kitchen, bathroom, and that's great, and you think that might be super duper easy for you to get to on the first day, but that's not how that works. On the first day, before you even unpack, you need to make sure you have everything you need for that very first day in one box. I'm talking toiletries, paper plates, hand towels, paper towels, tissue, wipes, toothbrush. Make sure that's in one box so you don't have to literally go through 100 boxes to get what you want for that first day, because you're gonna be overwhelmed, okay? Because I would be overwhelmed. I don't like any kind of difficulty or too much difficulty, especially stuff that could be avoided, it shuts me down. And now I'm miserable. Now I don't even want to unpack. Now I don't even want to be here because I'm mad. Because now I have to go through all of this just to find a toothbrush, just to find something to wipe my ass with. So just to find something to wipe my butt with, I have to go through all this hassle, and it's not worth it. And sometimes I think with me, I even went to the store and bought those first day things, even though I probably had a lot of them here already, but I didn't want to go through that hassle. So make sure you pack a first day box with all your essentials, everything you'll need for that first day, if you pack or if you unpack that day or not. That's my number 5. Number 6. Have a budget for your furniture. So furniture is one of those things that's gonna get you. You cannot fathom how much you're gonna spend on furniture. Because you're moving into your first apartment by yourself, I'm assuming you don't have any furniture you're bringing. If you do, kudos to you. And if you don't, like I didn't, that stuff costs, okay? So not only do you have to budget in spending thousands and thousands on furniture, you have to also budget in getting that furniture from point A to point B. So whether that's from the store to your house or whether that's from your mailroom to your apartment, it's a hassle. I've pulled muscles, okay? I don't work out, and I'm telling you, lugging that furniture from the mailroom to the 16th floor, yes, I use the elevator, but it doesn't matter. Lugging that furniture up here literally gave me the workout of my life. Like, I mean, maybe you want that. Maybe you like that. I don't, okay? And I'm weak as hell. I'm not a strong woman. I'm not even a handy woman. Let's talk about putting that furniture up once you even get it up here. All of that is stuff you have to factor in. So the money's gonna cost, getting it from the mailroom to your actual apartment and actually putting it up or building it. Like, what's mounting a TV? How do you mount a TV? How do you put up a curtain rod? These are all things that you have to account for. And no, putting up the furniture or building the furniture and bringing it upstairs is not monetary things, but it's things that you have to account for. You have to budget for that, whether it's mentally, emotionally, physically, you have to budget for that as well. So that's my 6th tip. Make sure you're budgeting for furniture. And if you see furniture that you like and pieces of furniture that you like, write down the cost. Because if you see something is $1,500 and you love it and you have to have it, think about furnishing a full apartment. You have to get that times 10. You might be able to buy it once, but can you buy it twice? Can you buy it 3 times? Like, can you buy it 10 times? Like, and then the size of your apartment and how you're furnishing is a big thing. So when you're looking for an apartment, make sure you can afford to furnish a big ass apartment. If not, get a studio. All right, don't get a studio, but get what you can afford to furnish because it's expensive. That's my number 6. Number 7. Number 7 is have your inspo for your apartment decor. This is super duper essential because no one told me that ivory is not off-white. And I'm thinking ivory is like a few shades from white, like on the warmer spectrum, closer to beige, but it still can be compatible with white. I could get white curtains and maybe an ivory rug. I mean, I didn't do that, but you know, that's what I'm thinking in my head because it's so close that it should be very similar. That's not the case. So not only is ivory a completely different thing from white, every ivory at every place is different. So the ivory couch on Wayfair and the ivory couch on Amazon is 2 different ivories. Like, I know this sounds crazy, but it's 2 different ivories. I know you're like, oh, duh. Well, it wasn't duh to me because it was my first apartment, my first time furnishing an apartment. So it wasn't duh to me. So think about that. So, and then also the Tom Ford Chanel books, making your apartment look to appease family, friends, guests, the social media is not it. The Chanel and Tom Ford books are tired. They're cute, but they're tired, overplayed, overdone. Everyone's done it. Like, you have to furnish your apartment for your aesthetic. Who cares what anyone else wants to say? Are they living here? Are they paying your bills? No. So if you want orange couches with a green curtain with yellow rugs, you do that because it's for you. And also get furniture that you need. Like, if you have a counter and you have like 4 stools at your counter and it's just you by yourself, you don't need 4 counter chairs and a dining set that seats 8. Like, why? I mean, unless you host parties, that's not necessary. Buy things that are necessary. Don't buy things that you think you should buy. Whatever you think you should buy, scratch that. It's what you want to buy and what you need. Okay? That's all I have to say about that. Number 8. Food is expensive. Whether you eat out, whether you don't eat out, it is expensive. Sometimes you're buying things and you're like, I'm gonna try that recipe I saw on Instagram. You're not gonna try it because being by yourself, not having any roommates, not having anyone, it's probably gonna be the laziest you'll ever get. So you might see a recipe you wanna try. You might see something, oh, I love that. I'm gonna try it one day. You might not try it. You might don't buy so much food where your food is expiring. You're basically wasting money at that point. And food is very expensive. Cleaning supplies is very expensive. Not expensive, but it adds up, right? Stuff to make your house smell good, stuff to make your to clean your walls, all that stuff you need to account for, okay? Because you're gonna end up buying a whole bunch of stuff that you don't need. Like sometimes, like at my house with my mom, there's a lot of cleaning supplies. And there's nothing wrong with a lot of cleaning supplies, but do you need that? Like, make sure you're getting things you actually need, or you're gonna waste so much money. Things are gonna expire. Food, when you go to the supermarket, go with a list. Don't deviate from that list. If you deviate from that list, give yourself 2 items to deviate from that list for. And don't go outside of that because you're going to end up spending money on things that you're going to waste. You're wasting money at that point. So that's my tip number 7. Number 8 is to use the amenities that the apartment provides because you're paying for it in your rent. It is rolled into your rent. If it has a pool, use the pool. If it has a gym, use the gym because you're basically wasting money again because you're paying for things that you're not using and it makes no sense. And I would also suggest, along that same little number 9 tip, I would also suggest you getting to know your neighbors and stuff. If anything happens, you can go to them. If you're leaving town, you have plans, you can go to them, all that good stuff. Mine don't like me because of her stupid ass dog. I don't give a fuck. Wait. I had to whisper because I can't fight. I'm so good. Sometimes I'm so glad I'm black because sometimes I give the appearance that I can fight and that I'm rowdy and stuff, but honestly I cannot, and I just gotta whisper certain things because listen. Wow. Anyways, so that's my number 9. Make sure you're using your amenities and get to know your neighbors. Number 10. And the thing with number 9 is I wish I had, when I first came here, I had gotten to know my neighbors. Now it's too late. Like, you know, I'm gonna seem like a bitch trying to, oh, I'm new next door. How long you been here? 4 months. It doesn't make any sense. So do that from your first week so that way it's already done. You don't have to worry about doing it months later and looking weird. All right, number 10. So number 10 is the mentality. It's probably the biggest change you're gonna see. So yeah, social media is a form of motivation, but the biggest form of motivation in anyone's life is your parents, school, your friends, your roommates, your sisters, your brothers, your siblings, all that good stuff, right? When you're alone, there's no one to motivate you. You can look at Instagram, but that's not a constant motivation where you're seeing what people are doing daily. When you see your sister go to school every day, you're like, oh, what do I want to do with my life? It's like that constant reoccurring motivation that you're seeing every single second, or not every second, but every single day. When you live on your own, you have to find that motivation inwards. Like, and if you don't, you're gonna come in here, you're gonna slum. Like, I slummed for my first 3-4 months here, and now I've been here 4 months and I can't believe it. Like, I'm still not finished decorating or anything. So it's just like I was in such like a slum. Like, there's no one telling me what to do. I do what I want, and what I want is not to do shit. So it's something to think about. Your mindset, you have to be mentally strong to live on your own because you have to motivate yourself, or else you'll stay complacent forever. You'll stay complacent forever because social media is just not enough. You need someone actively, because when you look at social media and someone is doing something great, you're like, oh, well, she has the means to do something. But when you have someone next to you, they're more relatable because they're in your same space, whether they go to your same school, whether they have the same mom and dad. It's that like relatable motivation. So, and you know, relatable motivation that you can actually see and relate to, it's way stronger than something that you feel like you can't attain or you can't do because you and someone is in 2 completely different positions. So you have to find that internal motivation, and it's hard, and I struggled with it. I'm still struggling with it, but this video is a start. It's a start. But anyways, I hope you guys like those tips. If you have any other tips for new people that are moving to new apartments, leave them below. If you would like a part 2, leave that below, and don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Goodbye.